2GR.
Hey everybody, welcome to our exit review, the first review we've done in a very long time.
God, like
Almost a year, right?
Almost
No,
a year.
I think
Over a year?
For Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
I mean, come on, we waited, what, 15
Well,
years?
you
for,
waited
like,
15
everything?
years for Kingdom Hearts 3, 15
I
years
don't
for
know.
Music.
We didn't really
Right.
wait 15 years for Kingdom
No,
Hearts 3.
we didn't,
We waited
but-
like 3, 4.
Since
If
the
you count
announcement.
point 2.
But
But
we knew it was coming.
yeah.
So
Freaking
before they even announced it, we're like, there's going to be a 3.
of course it's gonna be.
So a couple ground rules to set before we get into our thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 3. Number one,
man.
spoilers galore. If you
All
have
over.
not played or beaten the game, we're going to spoil
Yeah.
pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
don't watch or listen to this video
Correct.
until you've completed the game. So you've been warned. There are timestamps in the description below. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the narrative. We're going to talk about the gameplay. We're going to talk about the visuals. We're going to talk about the audio. Each of those things gets a score. They all average out through some math to a final score from each of us. And then all of our scores averaged together become the actual gaming resume score. If you're curious what our scoring system looks like, check out the description below.
Yeah.
We've got all the numbers and the descriptions of those numbers down there. If I didn't mention timestamps, well, the timestamps are there too. And I think that was pretty much everything.
Yep.
So now
Who wants to go first?
we are going to start talking about Kingdom Hearts 3,
Listen.
and we're going to start with the story.
Listen.
Oh, God.
And
Oh,
I think prefacing a little bit of the story, at least from my point of view, I'm just gonna get this out of the way, and I think Sean should start because I have a feeling Sean is gonna be different.
Well, okay, so let's be honest with everybody. You have not played all of the games, correct?
I have not.
You read some stuff. You watched some stuff.
I watched a lot of stuff because, when these games were coming out, I didn't have a PSP.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get a PSP. So
Yeah.
I didn't play Birth by Sleep, but I watched a lot of videos on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Same thing with 358x2. I didn't own
Yeah.
a DS. I never played it, but
Yeah.
I know exactly what happens. I played the HD re-releases of the games. I watched most of the cutscenes from that stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, I know. And I never played BBS on the HD release for 2.5 or anything either.
Yeah.
So I've missed quite a few of the chunks, but I know what happens. I'm familiar with the characters. I know the motivations, and et cetera, et cetera.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I didn't buy all the games. I watched a bunch of stuff. I got the story so far when it did like that shadow drop.
Yes,
and
yes.
I watched like a couple of the movies that were there. I played a couple of the games, and then I literally watched like a huge synopsis that covers everything because I didn't have enough time to play all the games before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me watch this, and I'm gonna go ahead and catch up on the story, and then play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Correct. Which
So
I think a lot of people out there
may have done. I don't know.
Look, it's hard. It's 13 games, I think.
This guy, no, is it?
I think it's like 13 games, isn't it altogether?
No,
it's a big number. It's definitely more than 10.
I played them all.
Yeah, he has them all. They're all there.
We took a picture on our IG. Anyway, that's a preface.
But that's
out of the way.
that's for us.
All right.
That's for us.
Okay.
So, yeah. You want to
So
start?
you want me to start off?
Yeah,
Go right ahead,
because,
man.
because I feel like you're the most
Okay.
invested in all of it.
In the story, right?
I will say the biggest, and I'm going to start with a strength. Let me start on a positive note.
Correct. That's why I was kind of going for
I'm
it.
going to start on a positive note. This game, generally speaking, delivered on the payoff moments that I wanted to see. As far as scenes like seeing certain characters getting reunited, for example, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. They did it. Okay, great. That was cool to see. We always used to joke, or we always used to just have fun reminiscing about the goofy death scene in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right.
But it wasn't really a death scene. Well, there was a Donald Duck death scene in this game.
There wasn't everybody dies death scene.
Fair.
They all literally died.
But it started with Donald, and it was just like, whoa. And so from that perspective, they met expectations from in that way. That's about as nice as I'm going to be able to go. I will say some of the Disney worlds did. I was very surprised and very happy with the stories they told. The three specifically that come to mind were I enjoyed the Hercules world for what it was. It was very basic. It was very simple.
Tutorial.
And I really enjoyed the Toy Story world story and the Monsters, Inc. world story because they were unique and new for this game. They were not rehashes of the movie.
Big Hero 6 was also a
I hadn't
continuation.
seen Big Hero 6, so I
it
wasn't
a
sure,
rehash.
but
It was post.
It actually continued the story
post
from
film.
the
Yeah,
game. It wasn't like an original. It literally was like, hey, this just happened.
Yeah.
However, the pacing of the story in this game is so bad that moments that years ago I would have thought I'd be crying with emotion, I was just like, oh, okay. Yay. I go, okay. You did it.
I'm so happy you said that.
I was extremely disappointed because if they had just fixed the pacing, if they could go retroactively, erase everyone's memory, and fix the pacing in this game, while I still don't think the narrative would have been perfect, it would have been a hell of a lot better than it actually turned out. Because when you've got all the Disney stuff and just a little bit of the main thread throughout the first 85% of the game, and then you squeeze all the big moments into the end, they all lose their impact, and those moments lose their impact here, and then you're bored to death in the first 85% waiting for something to happen. So that's my thought at a top level. Happy to dive deeper once you guys have shared your thoughts.
And I'm just going to take the rein a little bit.
Go for it, dude.
So it's funny you started with saying that, you know, you had your death moment, you know, with Donald, and you mentioned, you know, the payoff and stuff. That payoff, that literally is the 15% you're talking about.
Yes.
The first 85% of this game is it's almost irrelevant. There is no character development whatsoever. Honestly, Sora in general, the Kingdom Hearts story isn't a deep story at all. It's pretty basic, right? And Sora as a character has had very little development over the last 19 or 17 years that the series has been going for, right? And this game, you know, I wanted to see some stuff. So you know, you start the game and Sora's like, power of awakening. I gotta get that. Gotta get that power. And
that was the motivator. You lost all your powers, so you gotta. That's why you're starting at level 1 again.
It's a Metroid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that and sense. And pin this. I'm gonna talk about this in the gameplay section because it's like, oh, Sora has no powers, but then he actually has more powers than in any other game at the beginning of the game. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Well, later. But so what I'm getting at is this. Yes, the pacing is awful.
Terrible.
Awful.
Atrocious.
You're right. If they like the Aqua Ventus reunion, just Aqua Ventus, because they had more of a relationship than Terra did with all three. Like Terra was part of it, but Aqua and Ventus was special, and Aqua was going out of her way to reawaken Ventus. That was her goal. It's like, I need to get Ventus back, and she gets him back. And that reunion was like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like, good morning, Ventus. Good morning, Aqua. Move on. You don't get time to, like, you've been waiting for this since BBS.
And it was literally right after you save Aqua.
Yeah, exactly.
You just go from that to
you
that.
You save Aqua, you save Ventus, like an hour and a half later, you save Terra.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then Kyrie.
Oh, I did not mention that. Oh.
Kyrie.
So bad.
Paopu fruit. She gives Sora the Paopu fruit.
Oh, you skipped the part.
I skipped all the things because that's how I feel. I'm so all over the place. Like, Kyrie was used so poorly. She's training the whole time to be a Keyblade wielder, and you see her talking to Lee. Cool, I guess. Chamber. But then she's training this whole time, and then she's useless.
She's literally
she's a damsel in distress
that gets killed, and now Sora's got to go. Blah blah.
But she's alive at the end, right?
Because Sora finds her and saves her somehow from the final world or whatever. They don't even explain it. But she died. He's just like whoop-ah, kills Kyrie. No, that was stupid. Her entire character arc, literally, Nomura.
There was
just
no.
I mean,
you can take it off,
okay.
Rudy.
So. You know, nerd rage aside, I probably have the most positive.
That's so funny.
Which is because like the entire time that we were talking, I'm just like, you know, I was complaining.
Yeah,
I was like,
for sure.
This is bad, blah 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 blah. But I just am not as attached, I guess would be the best way of saying
fair.
it.
Yeah.
Out of everyone. So, like, I went into... Okay, let me put it like this. I got the game a day early before release.
I remember that.
Amazon, for some reason, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Square.
I got it the day before. So, like, I'm sitting there, my in-laws are hanging out and everything, and I'm just like, all right, cool. You know, I got this. Whatever, I'll just play it later. I'll install it later, whatever. So, I boot it up. The music hits me.
The nostalgia,
amazing.
like
The
that.
nostalgia
Dearly
is so-
beloved.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Blah, blah, blah. So I jump into the game. My wife is watching me play. We have a good time. And then, like, I think it was probably when I hit Tangled, in the Kingdom of Corona,
Yeah.
that it just, like, went to a screeching halt. And, like, here's my thing. I appreciate what they did with the Disney Worlds. I appreciate it. If you had not watched Hero 6, you would be like, WTF is going on?
Yeah. No.
If you had not
I
watched,
hadn't watched it.
Yeah.
and that's
you
what I'm
were
saying,
you probably had no
you
attachment.
probably had
No.
no attachment whatsoever.
No.
If I did not know what was going on, if I hadn't seen Tangled, I would have been lost.
Right.
The story and the world building that existed in previous games was not there. So
Yeah.
as if I wasn't like if I didn't have a son, I would have not have watched any of those movies. Let me put it to you like that. And that kind of like puts me in a... But that's just one thing. On top of that, you have the pacing issue that we were talking about earlier. You have all these individual worlds. There's opportunities to
in between those worlds.
to develop these characters.
Even in the worlds themselves.
In the worlds themselves. That's what I'm
Frickin'
saying.
The Frozen world.
Dude.
What the hell was that? You're literally on a snowy mountain the whole time, except
Yes.
at the end in a cutscene.
Well, you fell 3 times.
That was stupid.
What? We should have been in Arendelle at the beginning and Arendelle at the end.
Yep.
At least in the Kingdom of Corona, you get to go there, but the story's pretty
Right.
much over at that point anyway.
And this is one thing that happened with the Disney worlds that I noticed. They are so overly indulgent with those stories. They retold Tangled
Yep.
poorly.
Almost
Poorly.
entirely,
Poorly.
but
Poorly.
Very poorly.
Very poorly.
And it had Mandy Moore. They had Mandy Moore voicing
know.
like Rapunzel. They had I forget the guy's name. Sorry, bro. But the guy that voiced Flynn, like
Was
they
it Zachary Levi?
I think so. Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. So they have a lot of the actors in here. And
Well, the
it
money's
just,
there.
Frozen. Why
Same
do we
actors?
have to sit through Let It Go?
I kind of thought that. I knew it was coming.
No. Why do we
No,
have
no,
to sit
They
through Let
didn't
It
make
Go?
it a sound.
But
Swim
it's,
this way, we'll laugh and we'll play now scene. Like you didn't have to do a dance.
But it's
No,
the
but why do we
truth.
have to sit through the whole?
There was no need. There was
the-
no
look,
development.
Frozen starts with like Elsa already running away into her castle. There's no build up.
And then halfway through, they go back to, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
And they friggin' mess
and
it
then
up.
make you build a snowman. Oh, we'll get there in the
Hold on.
gameplay segment.
But they don't even. They mess up that scene anyway. Do you want to build a snowman?
And
then
they're
she's
talking
talking
over
over
it.
it. And I've heard this complaint from so many people, like some other YouTubers. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. That is awful from an
That was
audio perspective. I'm
god-awful.
like, who thought this? Who thought let's do the whole Let It Go? But do you want to build a snowman? Hell no. Listen to the narration, baby. You get the
you
abridged
can't even
version.
tell what they're saying without subtitles.
Oh my God.
It's just
It's just-
overly.
it's just bad.
It's overly indulgent. It's like they wanted to cater to the Disney fans, but if
Yep.
you hadn't watched the movies, you're not gonna enjoy them. But if you have watched the movies, you're gonna be bored because it's like this is just a poor man's version of the movie.
Yep.
They goofed up.
Exactly.
And that's
So-
why you said
No pun intended.
But no, that's why Monstropolis,
Right.
Yes.
the Toy Story, the toy box,
Yes.
was awesome.
Yes.
Hercules was awesome, even if it was a tutorial
No,
level.
Hercules was actually solid. Like surprisingly solid.
It
I
was
thought I was
good.
gonna hate it because
It
it
was
was like freaking Hercules
you go
again.
to Mount Olympus and you like do all this
Yeah.
stuff and you fight the Titans. It was epic. It
Yeah,
was
no,
an
no,
epic
no.
start. Like we were playing that level and like Marta was like, "Wow, this music is epic." Like
Yes.
this whole fight
Oh,
scene.
yeah,
is
yeah,
epic.
yeah.
But anyways, moving on. I don't know. I was definitely disappointed.
The payoffs weren't.
It wasn't there. I didn't care.
There were moments where I thought I was gonna get emotional. I'm like, finally, this is it. We're gonna get the Kyrie and Sora moment, and then the whole Pauper Fruit thing. I was like, I've been waiting for this since literally the ending of Kingdom Hearts
I know.
1, when you see her crying at the little like crayon
Yeah.
thing or chalk thing they did in the cave.
Yeah.
And here it is, and you just don't enjoy it. Like you don't get that payoff. I did not get the emotional payoff
No.
that I wanted. Kingdom Hearts 2 had way more emotional payoff than this game did.
Oh,
for
totally.
sure.
Way more. And that was the
100%.
sequel. That was just the second game. This is the 13th friggin' game of the series.
That was the third if you're gonna do that because Chain
No.
of Memories.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I gotta be fair.
That's
If you're
fine.
gonna
That's
call
fine.
this number 13.
It was the third game. sure. But Chain of Memories, sorry to say this.
No, it was decent.
No, not that it was a bad game, but anyway, yeah.
I got to complain about the narrative here. That's not necessarily the game's fault so much as it is my own expectations.
Oh, your expectations were through the roof. We all knew that.
So when I was playing Kingdom Hearts 1 for the first time, and I'm like, you're in Hollow Bastion, you're going in to fight Maleficent. I'm like, oh, man, I had a great time with this game. I'm not ready for it to be over. Okay, I'm going to beat it. And then you're like, oh, I'm only halfway through. And you go back through all the worlds again.
Right.
In Kingdom Hearts 2,
you did that even
when I was playing that, and you get to towards the end, I was a little nervous because I remembered, well, in Kingdom Hearts 1 you did this. You're not going to do this in Kingdom Hearts 2. This game's, took me 30 hours just to get here.
It's massive.
This game's not, I'm going to the final battle. Okay. All the Final Fantasy characters are coming together. I know Xehanort. No, okay, this is the fight. I just fought 1,000 Heartless. This is the final battle. Oh my god, no! I'm only halfway through the game. This is amazing. So coming into Kingdom Hearts 3, as I'm going through all these worlds, I'm like, okay, well, Hades exited stage left, so okay, cool. He went back to the underworld, so I guess we're going to go back there in the second part of the game when we come back to Olympus.
Throughout the entire game, you were setting yourself up.
I thought we were coming back, and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay. And so once I got to that, what I assumed might be the midway point, and I'm like, okay, well, let me think. We still haven't gone back to Olympus. The Toy Story guys were like, oh, you know, we're missing some of our people. They're in the other world, and we still got to find them. I'm like, okay, so that'll be the story for the second half. And I'm like, man, they still haven't found this black box that Maleficent and Pete are walking around for, which is bullshit. So that whole thing was literally MCU setup for Phase 4 back in Phase 2.
Yeah.
I was just like, really? So I'm like, at the end, I'm like doing the whole maze thing, and I'm like,
Which also, the end was like Gauntlet.
It was just Gauntlet.
Like
and then I'm like, oh, this is totally going to be the end, isn't it? And I was just... Throughout that whole time, I'm like, is it or is it not the end? And that ruined a lot of it for me. Because I'm like, I don't know if these moments are supposed to matter or if they are. And the pacing was just so bad anyway. But
And also the fact that there was no Final Fantasy characters. Like,
oh my god.
It hampered the experience a little bit for me.
Cloud is in the game.
Where?
At the very beginning when Hades is monologuing about previous heroes. You see Cloud show up as a statue with Auron and I think Hercules, and they just spin around. And
so technically you have Auron, you have Auron, you have Cloud, you have a Moogle.
No, they're not in the game.
They're not in the game.
The Moogles are in the game.
And then you have a cactuar made out of bricks or blocks.
Right, the cactuar reference. But that's just a reference.
And Bahamut and Ifrit and Ramu in the toy store, in the toys section.
In the toy section.
In the toys. I thought those were going to be bonus end game
bosses.
Yeah. I was like, wow, they made whole character models for these things.
Speaking of bosses, I think the only friggin' like Disney boss you fight is Baymax and Davy Jones. Everybody else is a friggin' huge Heartless. You don't fight Hades. You don't fight, Zurg. You don't fight anybody. You literally fight giant Heartless.
That kind of look. You're right.
That was like such a disappointment because you remember you fought Hades multiple times in this game series.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You fought like Tron in the Tron world. You fought the big computer. I forgot his name already. But like you fight the Disney bosses in this game, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, I feel like Nomura had these ideas, and either he just gave up on it halfway. The change from 7 remake to this to that, like there's just been so much crap with this game. It was never gonna deliver. However, I will say this: there were 2 moments in this game that elicited actual genuine emotion from me. They didn't live long, but I did feel things.
Fair.
The Nier Automata moment.
I knew you were going to mention that.
And that kind of bleeds into the gameplay, but the story of that, yes.
At least in terms of the story, bringing all the, as soon as I saw the Keyblades, I'm like, oh, I remember that from the mobile game.
Yeah.
And then like when you're doing it, I'm like, okay, cool. And then that's when we get to the gameplay part, because then it just disappointed the hell out of me. I'm like, oh, I'm literally just doing this. But we'll get to that later. And then the other part was the very, very end when Sora and Kairi, I'm like, okay, this is it. It's wrapping up. Sora saved her. And she reaches her and she sheds a tear. Boom, Sora's gone. I felt something. I'm like, oh, is he dead?
Well, that was also stupid anyway, because she's dead, and he's like, I'm
but she's
go,
not.
And he's like, I'm gonna go save her. And he goes
and then
off.
It cuts forward.
And then they leap forward to both of them, and then he goes away, and it's like, Man, what kind of ambiguous bullcrap
Well,
is
no.
this?
I got it. Literally,
salty.
he saved her, but he must have died or got stuck somewhere in the process. And after seeing the friggin' the secret movie, I guess he got stuck in the world ends with you. I don't know.
Man, and they make Well, and let's talk about the actual villain in this dumbass game.
Xehanort?
Awful. I hate Xehanort.
They make him into a likable good guy at the end. He was doing something
Nobody
righteous.
dies. Who actually died in this
Stupid.
game?
And Eric
No
is
one.
coming back. I know some fans were like,
And
"Oh yeah,
Tara.
I guess that was him." But it was
Yeah.
like, no, don't give everybody a happy ending.
Everybody.
This is so
They
stupid.
pulled a Spielberg. They genuinely did. They
was
gave
dumb.
everybody a happy ending. Spielberg loves his happy endings.
Now I'm really
and
salty.
Xehanort, like, honestly, man, following him through the series, he was always super kind of he wants to use Kingdom Hearts. He wants to get the Keyblade. I get it.
Make him a villain. Make
He
him
wasn't a
evil.
good villain. He wasn't a good villain though. Like, genuinely
could've
speaking.
been. In
Maybe.
Birth by Sleep, he was.
Yeah, because you're starting to realize his intentions,
Yeah.
right? You see him
Yeah.
develop from a positive,
Yeah.
possibly good guy to a bad guy.
Yes.
But once he's set in that villain role, there is nothing about him that is unique. He is not a likable villain. He is not a good villain. He is a genuine black and white. I'm a bad guy because I want to do bad things. What's my intention? I don't know. Thanos is a genuinely good villain. Meruem from Hunter x Hunter is a good villain. And I'm sorry if you don't watch anime or like MCU, but hey, those are good villains. In this case, he wasn't.
I liked Axel in this game.
Lee was cool.
He was all right.
I've got fans out there that are going to be real sad when I'm gone.
Yeah. So
Got it memorized.
that's I mean, that's
I like him. I did like that moment in the slog of that whole ending. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll give you that one square. I enjoyed that.
Nah, Lee was a cool. I've always liked Axel, but also Roxas's return, like I just
Forced in
Yeah.
Zion.
yeah.
Shion.
What the
Yeah.
hell was
Like,
that? I thought she literally
It's
was
literally
dead.
just
Period.
let's just bring them all back. Even
mean-
Puppet Riku from Chain of Memories comes back. Like, what the hell? This is just totally over the top stupid.
yeah, I
Combination of everything.
so I don't know. I'm ready to score this bad boy.
Yeah, I guess I am too. I probably had a couple more gripes, but I'll go. I guess I'll go
Go
first. So I'm here yelling and screaming, and that's because I really love
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom
man.
Hearts. I was really looking forward to this game. This story absolutely has problems. My score for this is a 6. I wouldn't say the bad outweighs the good. There definitely is bad in this game, and it's extremely frustrating, but I did enjoy the front part of the game. I enjoyed a few of the different worlds. There were some that were just okay. It was the ones really towards the end that were really just And then because they squeezed everything together, it just made it feel not emotional. But like I said, they still did the reunions that I was looking for. The Zeta Flare with Donald was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nier thing, getting to talk with all these villains again. Like
The battle with Xehanort was good too.
Yeah,
Like, it was cool. You know.
I mean, there was stuff there to like. It needed a hell of a lot of work,
Yeah.
but so anyway, I'd give it a 6.
Okay. I give it a 5. I gave it a 5. It's super flawed. At times I was actually angry at the game. I actually felt angry. I'm like, why am I slogging through this? And I don't like finishing games that I don't like. But I had to. I felt like I owed it to myself after so many years of enjoying this franchise. Like, this is supposed to be the big end. And it did deliver. It didn't deliver it good. So, 5 for me.
Hold on, I'm gonna cheat. Yeah, I definitely gave it a 5.
Okay. Okay. So we're all
and-
pretty close.
But like I agree with you. I owed it to my 15-year-old self
Dude, we were
to
so
finish
young.
this game, and like I was talking to my wife about it, and just like midway through, I was just I went to bed one time like super late, and she's like, "What took you so long?" And I was like, "Well, I was playing Pirates of the Caribbean, and I had to go for like an hour and a half without
Yes.
seeing
Yeah.
the next save point. So I'm sorry."
Yeah, that happened to me too.
And it's just
Literally.
like, dude, why is there so much space in between it? Like,
Pirate story was so bad.
Oh,
No.
we're gonna.
No, the story.
The story.
Oh,
The story
yeah,
was
yeah.
horrible. Horrendous.
It was awful.
It was like
It was
3
so
scenes
boring.
from the movie
So
in an order
boring.
that you would never know what the hell's going on.
So boring.
Yep.
That was the third movie. Like, if you
That
didn't
was
watch
just-
the movies, you'd be like, "What the?"
Yeah,
hell?"
they skipped
I
from the
don't-
first one to the third one,
Yeah.
as far as these
I
games
had
go,
no
too.
idea. I had no idea what was
It was.
going
It was
on.
just. I'm sorry, dude.
Sorry.
So, Anyways,
so that's story. Did you finish? I'm sorry.
No, let's go. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Okay.
Let's move on.
Oh, I think it's gonna get a little bit better from there.
Yeah.
We'll see. I feel story was one of the worst parts of this game, but let's talk about the gameplay, the other big important one.
I like the gameplay. It wasn't perfect by any means, and I'm saying I like the gameplay because I did. It was very flashy. It made you feel cool for the most part, right?
It was cathartic.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it.
It definitely there's just cool things about it. I like. Let's just start at the basic gameplay, right? You've got your Keyblades that change forms.
Yep. That was a great improvement.
I like that a lot. I miss the drive from Kingdom Hearts 2 because that gave you more of a balance, especially when it came to your special abilities, your Disney rides, your combos with your partners, and then your own abilities and your forms changes and all that stuff. So that's where I was getting at earlier, right? When I was talking about the game starts and Sora has this crazy arsenal of moves.
Yeah, he does.
Why does he have the shot lock ability? If I remember correctly, that wasn't introduced till BBS. Aqua had that.
Yeah, shot lock started, I believe, in Birth by
BBS.
Sleep. I can't remember if shot lock was part of Dream Drop Distance or not.
It wasn't. That's when they introduced flow motion.
So he knows shot lock now. Okay.
Like
I know.
Like you realize,
I'm just like whatever.
So, but that's the thing. Like, had they thought, had they taken the time to think, okay, wait a second, Sora is supposed to be super weak. Power of Waking is gone. He's super let's give him these abilities at different intervals.
He starts with 20 abilities.
He starts up with all the Disney rides. Why?
Plus the Disney rides.
Yeah.
The Disney rides sucked. I stopped using them halfway, not even halfway through the game. I think in the third or fourth world, I'm like, this is whack. I don't want to use these. They're the same thing. They're not fun to do. They're little mini games that do way too much damage. There's so much damage. I don't care for those abilities, man.
And speaking of those abilities, a lot of people did not find this out until the end of the game, or they didn't even know it was in there. I happened to mention it to you. I don't even know if you ever realized this. People were like, the one I want is number 4 on the list. Well, I guess I got to wait for these other ones to expire first. You can pull the left trigger.
Yeah, L2.
To cycle through those abilities. Did you know that? See?
You
See
played
what
the
I
whole
mean?
game without knowing that?
The game does not tell you
It doesn't
that.
tell you. Yeah, you press L2 and you cycle through the abilities.
I did not know
or
that
if it
at
does
all.
tell you that, it's like you just don't even notice it because you're like, I want to play the game. I just started.
There's that. Ugh.
Yeah.
So gameplay wise, okay. So you have obviously your basic abilities and all this and that,
Right.
And I feel like this might correlate a little bit with story. I guess I don't know, but the game itself is a series, and this is just my opinion, is a series of mini games in between boss battles.
Right? Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
You have your combat.
You have your combat, and then you
exploration.
And then you have these mini games that all go through. Whether it's and they're optional. Some are optional. Some aren't. Like you have oh my god, what's a good one? You have Remy.
Building Olaf.
Building Olaf is one.
Oh, that was garbage.
Like every single menu.
The Remy.
I'm over
Remy,
here.
Yes.
I hated that.
this way.
It was
hated
horrendous.
That was
It
terrible.
hurt the pacing so much.
Horrendous.
And you're right, Remy too. I never cooked.
I never cooked anything.
After that
at
tutorial,
the end of the
I
game, you see where it
never
shows you all the stats.
Yeah.
It was like recipes eaten, and I had 0.
Zero. Yeah.
Because I don't use it.
I cooked everything on the menu, but
For a trophy.
For a trophy. Because you know what? I think I ate food once during the final boss battle.
Did it do? I know it gave you buffs.
It gives you buffs for 30 minutes. So you get, depending on what you eat, you can get extra strength, extra magic, extra HP.
Yeah.
That probably could have helped me get through the last fights faster.
And I know we're kind of spinning all over the place, but this game was too easy.
It was too easy up until the last gauntlet.
Even on proud mode,
Yeah.
I had no problems. I think I died 3 or 4 times the entire game, and that was because I was
Just spamming. Yeah.
okay.
Crap. Honestly, the last gauntlet did test me. And I know the very, very last fight, you are supposed to get all the way to your little 1 HP because that happened. And I was like, that has to be scripted. It was too perfect. But even before that, when you get to what was the name of that place called? The White
Final World.
Sadum at Callum.
Oh, Callum at
that
Salad at Callum.
Salad
It's
at
Latin
Callum.
and it translates to
Callum
Stairway to
Finnegan.
Heaven.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Stairway to Heaven.
So that beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that area where you fight those
That was
mysterious
fun.
adversaries,
I enjoyed that piece. That was one of the
and
best.
that was hard. As soon as
Yes.
it started, they all went in and attacked
Yes.
me. I was like, "Holy crap!"
That
I'm
was
at 1
one of the
HP.
most exciting parts of the game.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was a plus. Like that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. Like the gameplay has moments where it shines, where it's
Yes.
like, damn, like that whole area fighting Xehanort, their armored Xehanort, where you're like, you can be in the air the entire time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like wow, this game actually has mobility.
Yes.
Flow motion it's wasted in this game.
It is wasted.
Big time.
There's
Like,
no point to it.
No.
Yep.
They kept it in because Sora learned it.
You hit the wall and you move like half a foot to launch off.
And I know why they
There's
removed
no-
it.
They shouldn't have even had it in the game.
Right,
Period.
right. But I remember in Dream Drop Distance, you could do some crazy.
You could go
You
far.
could jump
yeah.
way halfway across.
It was
a
the
level.
mobility was so much fun.
Yeah, I loved it.
But for every amazing, battle against those 12 whatever the hells they were, there's a collect some crabs for 10 minutes.
Oh my god! Why is
Minigame.
it that in the climax of the game, I get it. Okay, Sora had to recollect himself. Why did I have to collect 111 pieces? No, is there a thematic
111
reason?
pieces. What are you talking about?
When
When
in
you're
the final
picking up
world
Sora.
and you have to pick up yourself.
Oh, like literally picking up Sora himself.
Yes. It was 100.
358 divided by 2
I hate you.
minus the.
I hated that.
Carry
I
the
was just
kingdom
like,
to the heart.
Like yeah, the crabs for sure pissed me off because that was when I was trying to save, and I'm like, oh, there's no save point here. That or was there a save point before? I forget. But that bothered me big time. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yep.
And I get it. It wasn't super long. You could finish in like 15 minutes. It sucked. It sucked. And then again, you get to this very climactic piece, and it's like, okay, Sora has to recollect himself. So I'm taking my time, collecting those first pieces of Sora, reading the little stars. I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat. I like this. Afterlife, death, whatever.
It had a nearish feel to it.
Yes. And then it's like, oh, you really... And then I see this huge thing. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do here? And I see all these Soras running around. I'm like, I really hope I don't have to collect all these. Oh, my God. I may have to collect all these.
And you fall
What?
off, and you're like, no, hit the thing so I don't fall. And you're just trying to keep alive. And there's like, well, there's 3 on this side.
And then they're doing movements on the wall that you cannot do. You can only run horizontally or vertically. You can't do like an actual...
You can do a slight diagonal.
Yeah, but it's still like an 8-direction movement. It's not like actual
no.
they were doing weird movements that I couldn't replicate for the life of me.
Well, because
get good, maybe.
Because the animation was probably when the cube was turned a certain way, so it looked like they were actually.
Yeah, it was just bad. I didn't get the point of that at all. At all. It was just wasted. It was just wasted
Onyx.
time. Yeah,
It was a mini game.
you're so right. That's really what it was.
It's a mini game. That's what I'm telling you, dude. Like all these like set pieces and story and all this and that was cut up into small mini games in between it all.
Yeah.
And then also even between mini games, you've got the gummy ship stuff.
Oh my
man.
God! Talk about like I'm falling asleep here. I'm just. Why am I shooting so slow? Why am I moving so slow? Why is everything so slow?
At first, it's like, oh my
Wow,
gosh,
look at this
open
world.
world gummy
Yes.
ship.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was
this
like,
is
yes,
great.
this is great.
And then it's not.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Then you're just like, I just want to go straight to the planet
Yeah.
that I need to go to.
I
go
avoided
to the world that I need to go to.
I avoided the fight. I remember in Kingdom Hearts 2, and I hate bringing this game up, but damn, it's good. But I looked forward to the fight because they were like super flashy and super fast and like
It's like on rails boss
yeah,
shooter.
man.
Yeah.
This game frigging
not.
sucks. But I don't know. I mean, it's and also the world design, while gorgeous and huge, because the worlds were
The
massive
level design was one of the best parts of. Yes, it was good.
to an extent.
It
was linear
for most of the worlds.
Well,
Yeah, that's my problem.
Not the
It was
frozen world.
big for the sake of being big. It almost felt like the developers were looking at it and saying, "How much can we stuff in these giant arenas?" Because there's nothing good about it. Like like the platforming wasn't that good.
There's exploration though. I mean, like
Minimal.
like the Hercules world. When you get to you get out of the town. God, I'm forgetting the name of the
Olympus?
town.
I don't know.
No, not Olympus. The town.
Zebes.
Yeah.
It actually might be
Thebes.
something.
Thebes. It was Thebes.
You said Zebes. Yeah, from Metroid.
I know.
Well, it rhymed. It was Thebes. And then you go out into like that area where you're literally climbing up an entire mountain.
Yeah, right.
And
That was cool.
That was
That was
great.
awesome.
There was a lot of verticality. It was linear in the sense that by the end of the thing you're going to be up here.
I mean, yeah.
But there were like 3 or 4 different paths you could take to get there.
Right, leading up
And
to it. But if
there were
you
treasure chests all along the way. I know
Yeah.
you guys didn't care for the emblem piece of that, but it was optional. You didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
And by doing it, you get items and whatever.
No, I get it. It wasn't horrible. But I started thinking about, like, if I didn't analyze this, right? I'm sure somebody will eventually. But I was thinking about the level design. I started thinking, if I put this on a map, and I looked at the map, and I started, like, tracing where I started and where I ended, it probably looked like if I was just following this path that was designed for me. And then I just got to the end. Like, there wasn't... Like, they're huge, but there's nothing to do besides fight, and find treasures, and look for little hidden things.
But that's Kingdom Hearts. It is.
That's what it's been for 17 years. I think the series could have done something more challenging. You know, I didn't expect more, but I was disappointed that they didn't do anything more with it. Especially with the new hardware. It's next gen. It looked beautiful. That's all it was. And I didn't expect much. I just wanted to have a good time. But
I had a good time for a little while.
Yeah, the combat wasn't bad.
No.
It felt good. But it's funny, when I played the DMC5 demo, and I was like, holy crap, wait a second. I have so much more control that it made me realize, wow, yeah, Kingdom Hearts is really automated. You just kind of hammer away that X, man. And that's always been a thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, you hit X with a questionable triangle.
But if you remember Kingdom Hearts 1, you couldn't do that in Kingdom Hearts 1. You actually had to block so much.
Yes,
you had to time. That
game was pretty difficult.
It was. And there was way more skill. Like, if an enemy would throw something at you, you could actually knock it back, get more experience for that, and then go into it, follow it up.
Technical experience.
Yes. Yep. Like, those Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are genuinely well-designed games.
Fantastic games.
Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't live up to that.
No.
And I'm totally ready to just give this my score.
There was one other thing I did want to mention, but I can't remember.
I was going to talk about links, but they're so...
One of my favorite components of Kingdom Hearts 2, the synthesis system, the crafting. In this game, it was practically pointless.
I hate
because the game was so easy. Yeah. Like in Kingdom Hearts 2, you know, even in the original, it was difficult playing on the hardest difficulty. And then in Final Mix, obviously, it gets even harder.
Even in Standard, it was difficult, though.
But I loved grinding out materials so that I could go do some strength ups and some HP ups.
Do you know how many times I went in Kingdom Hearts 2 to that last world, and I just, from the beginning, all the way to the last save point, I would just run it over and over and over to grind. Because it felt good to play, and it felt good to grind.
You know what I just realized? How many freaking weapons are in this game? Not Sora's weapons. In every single world
5.
in the previous one, there's like Goofy and Donald had like a few dozen, like 2 or 3 dozen weapons and stuff. In this game, they had like 5.
It was bad. Yeah.
2 of them being the same one, just with a plus at the end.
Yeah.
It was just like, get out of here. All right. I think I might have had more to say, but whatever.
I mean, that's
you guys covered it, so. I don't know. So you want to give it your score for
me?
Yeah. Well, we can go.
Because it was cathartic and I still had fun. It still had problems. I gave it a 7.
Oh, that's funny.
I gave it a 7. It was Kingdom Hearts, just not as good as the previous ones. It wasn't bad. It wasn't. A little bit better than bad. It was
according to our scale. A 7 is great.
A 7 is great, but if they had just fixed a few things, it could have been amazing. So I'm saying it wasn't amazing.
It's funny. It's funny. I may have sounded really negative, but I actually gave it an 8.
Are you serious?
I gave the gameplay an 8 simply because the combat did feel really good, and that is what pushed me to the end. Again, when I was fighting the Xehanort battle, I was actually doing the blocks, using my
that was the only time in the game that you needed to do that.
Yeah, that's why I can't give it
the only time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now you're making me question my score, but it's too late. It's done.
No, and I'll back you up, because after I beat the game and I'm like, screw this noise, I still went back because I'm like, yes, I was doing some trophy hunting, but it was just like,
it doesn't feel bad to fight.
I don't mind grinding to level 99 because it's fun. I like playing this game. I like the battles, the combat. The combat is fun.
The combat, while flawed, while they gave way too many abilities to Sora way too early on, they could have changed that by simply just, you use one ability, you gotta restart the build up to it. Like, simple things like that could have fixed it. I still enjoyed it. I still think the fighting was fun, so I gave it an 8.
I gave it 6.
Nice.
Because to me, it was so boring and so dull.
And I get it.
To me, it was very difficult to get through this game. The story didn't help at all, but the gameplay, the thing that you're doing most was X.
Yeah.
Oh, triangle. X.
Yeah,
X.
yeah.
Triangle.
Oh, and the triangle, like it's just you see a cutscene and then you just kind of press triangle again.
Yeah,
it was really flashy to make you feel good.
Exactly, which is fine at the end of the day. But for me, there was just I can't wait to play DMC5.
I know, yeah,
because DMC5 is going to be like
it's gonna give you possibly that, like I said, that character action. Even though Kingdom Hearts isn't that, right? But let's not.
No,
well, it's gonna be funny when our review for that game was like, oh, the gameplay wasn't that great.
No, it will be great. But it's. You guys said it yourself. Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 3. It is like Kingdom Hearts 1 gameplay was difficult.
It was difficult.
It was solid.
Skill based. Right.
Kingdom Hearts 2 added a lot of flashiness and was amazing.
But it still felt good. You could still do so much with it.
In my opinion, Kingdom Hearts 3 was a complete downgrade, worse than anything I've ever seen in the series, and I've only played so much.
Right.
I know we're past it and we've said our scores, but we also... What the hell? Like, where were all the different enemy types in this game? They didn't do as many Heartless as before. They didn't do as many Nobodies. And it's like, oh, wow, the Unversed are in this game for, like, one level. And there's, like, 4 of them.
Yeah. Monsters Inc., right? That was the only time they had the
They didn't pop up in that
noise.
final...
They were there. I saw them. The little tiny baby ones.
Yeah.
And the fat guys. The
big guys with the
tentacles. Yeah, they were there. That was
Japanese.
Stupid. We also passed it, but I did really like the doll fight in Toy Story World.
That's right.
That was cool. I thought that was very anime.
It was.
That's not Disney.
It's kind of creepy. It was like,
Daracine.
Yeah. Bloodborne in
Kingdom Hearts.
All right.
So let's move forward.
Moving on to audio.
I want to start this one.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
The music was not as memorable as before. I'm sorry.
Wasn't.
There were some tracks like the Toy Story battle theme. I freaking love that music. I like the music in Olympus. I like the nostalgic callbacks to the songs. You know, like the simple and clean at the very end. The orchestrated version. I was like, hey, that's the very first trailer that came out for this game had that orchestra theme playing. Mm-hmm. So it hit me with the nostalgia. Like, yes, I'm feeling things. Mm-hmm. However, the rest of the music was pretty bland. It was by the numbers. It was another Ishimamura production.
The Disney music specifically, yes.
Yeah.
The generic Disney music. I like the Hercules one.
Yeah, that was good.
Boom, 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 boom. I like that. And then they brought back a lot of themes from the previous
gummy ship theme.
One of my favorite, and I can't remember now. I'm blanking on the stinking name, but the Kingdom Hearts 2 final mix secret movie, where they're showing you the full preview for what Birth by Sleep looks like.
Right.
Is it Something of the Unknown, Fate of the Unknown? I can't remember the name of the track.
Answer.
But the music from that, I was like, please be in Kingdom Hearts 3 because that is my favorite track in all of Kingdom Hearts, and it was. I believe it occurred. When Donald does Zeta Flare, because Terra Nort shows up and is causing chaos, and I think that's when that music plays. So I liked it, but it just wasn't. You're right. It just wasn't.
No, I mean
but that doesn't mean it's bad.
It's not good. Bad music. Shimomura is a good composer.
Yeah,
she's really talented.
Final Fantasy 15 was.
15 had a good soundtrack for the most part.
Woo.
For the most part.
But this, I was really disappointed, man. The music in particular.
I don't know. I didn't have that high of an expectation, I guess, because I enjoyed it for the most part. Yeah. Like, none of it is memorable. That I agree with you. Aside from like the certain few, but the audio overall, not just music, but sound effects.
Sound effects were good.
Amazing, on point.
Sound effects were good.
There was an audio feedback every time that I hit an enemy.
Yeah.
There was,
and the Keyblades, like previous games, they all have different sounds.
Thuds.
They feel like the Pirates one, the water wheel, I think it was called. I forget what it was. That thing, I loved using it because it actually felt heavy.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, it became one of my favorites in the game.
Yeah,
and then
same.
like overall, ambiance throughout the game was awesome.
Yes.
The audio mixing was on point in my opinion.
And
aside from that one scene in Frozen.
Which one?
The one where you're all like, "Let's build a snowman."
Oh yeah,
and like talking over. Aside from that point, like I can't think of any other like points.
And you have a home theater system as well.
Yeah, I loved it.
I have a good soundbar at home there were parts like Xehanort near the end. There's a part that he does something. I think we puts on the armor, and there was so much bass. I was like, this is like a movie right now. Cool.
Yes.
There were some lines of dialogue that seemed like they were like hitting the bar on the audio levels, specifically Donald.
Yeah.
Like I noticed a couple that and now I know what Donald sounds like, but for the most part, it was like, oh yeah, it's Donald. But every once in a while, I'd hear some. Oh, specifically when he's like, this looks like a good spot to find some ingredients. Like the quality of that audio clip does not match the quality of the other Donald clips.
And let me tell you something.
Nuts every time I heard
the quality of the voice acting was so over the place.
Yes.
It
The
was.
main trio,
100%.
I'll give it to Haley Joel Osment. He is giving it his all.
Fantastic.
Yeah, totally.
Vanitas sounded great.
Yes.
Sora obviously sounded great.
Yes.
I was very happy with his delivery.
Yes.
It was like everything that I expected. As much as Sora can be annoying sometimes,
When he screamed at the end,
Yeah.
like I was like, whoa.
all right, cool. You're a good actor. I like you. David Gallagher, what the hell happened? He sounded so bored.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
Yeah.
Riku. Hey, Sora. Listen, we gotta save Kairi. Hey, Your Majesty, are you ready to go to the darkness?
He's got more
Mickey.
personality in the previous games. Yes.
Yes.
I'm not defending it. It's kind of part of his character, but it's also not because
but it's boring.
in Dream Drop Distance, he did have a little bit more emotion in the weight of his diction and delivery and all that stuff. But
I don't
not
know
in
what
this
happened. I don't know if that was the directional
game. He
intent.
probably read the script and was like, "Oh shit, people aren't gonna like
awful.
this."
Like I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was a directional thing where maybe the voice directors just weren't really giving him the feedback he needed. I don't know what it was, but David, like I literally put a note on here that said Riku, David Gallagher. It felt like he phoned in that performance. And if somehow you listen to this and it was something that you fell off, hey, sorry, but it really felt bad. It wasn't done well. And voice directors in general have a big role to play in voice acting. Aqua in BBS, I know that she was supposed to be a very calm, soothing personality, but there were moments where it was like, this is really boring to hear her talk. And that's the same thing that happened here. She was boring. But there were moments in BBS where she sounded like a genuine character behind that voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Kingdom Hearts overall has had that issue where it's like the voice acting has never been excellent.
Well,
but in this game, it was just like, oh my! And nobody could replace Nimoy either. By the way, like
No.
Xehanort's-
That was unfortunate. I mean,
Yeah.
it was unfortunate.
yeah, no, for sure. And Mark Hamill, he had like 3 lines as Eric.
Oh, that was Mark Hamill. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I saw his name in the list. I'm like, oh, I wonder. I can't remember. Who did he play?
Ericus.
Oh, Ericus. Oh, I thought you
Ericus.
meant Xehanort.
No.
Yeah,
Xehanort was
somebody else.
sound alike.
Yeah, I don't. How did I forget that? I'm sorry. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
'Cause
I
that was
knew
like
that.
legendary. It
I
was
knew
like,
that.
dude,
I
Star
can't
Wars and
remember.
Star
I can't
Trek
believe
in
I
the
forgot
same. But it's just disappointing.
The returning Disney cast, I thought, did a good job. Generally speaking,
Generally,
a
yeah.
little bit, maybe not so.
Mandy Moore did the
to
best
do
she
it.
could.
Yeah,
I give it to Mandy
Yeah.
Moore. I think
And-
she like really gave it.
and
her
even
all.
some of the sound-alikes. I actually was very surprised by the sound-alikes for Woody and Buzz.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tom
Right.
Hanks and
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Yeah.
That obviously was not them, and you could tell it wasn't them.
Oh, yeah.
But they did a really good job.
Yeah.
Except for when you get on the rocket and you're doing that, and Buzz just goes, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, like
Yeah.
every time you hit the button, and it reminded me of a grunt from an orc from World of Warcraft goes, ha ha.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think I don't know. Like I said, I think the voice acting overall was pretty subpar. The main trio was solid. Some of the quality, like you said, didn't sound too good. Roxas in particular, I remember listening to it yesterday. I'm like, ugh.
Even the sound-alikes for Pirates, as garbage as that whole part was,
It was decent.
they
yeah.
did pretty good.
Yeah.
It sounded being sound-alikes.
Johnny Depp, Keira Knightley, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna. That was Orlando Bloom. Oh,
Well, he phoned that one in.
I don't have much more to say about
Same.
No, I'm good.
it. I gave it an 8. I mean, the music is still great.
Yeah.
It wasn't as memorable as previous games, but that's okay. There wasn't too many problems with the sound editing, mixing, and even though some of the voice acting wasn't the best, there was still some good voice acting in this game. So, I gotta ignore some things, but I get hyped for Kingdom Hearts. It sounded like a Kingdom Hearts game. When you hit new game and it's the same sound effect from the previous games, like, and in the menu you're going whoop 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 as you're like it was all it was Kingdom Hearts. It
Right.
was Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
It just
For
wasn't
better or worse.
as memorable.
So I gave it a 6.5.
You can't
and I
do
know
that.
I can't do
No,
that.
you gotta-
So I
so
brought it. I brought it here for a reason because I wanted to gauge how I felt. So I'm giving it a 6, man.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
I'm giving it a 6. I left it there on purpose.
You can't do that.
Relax, I know my rules. So, it's unfortunate, but it just great audio design overall, but the voice acting really took me out of the experience way too many times. Like, blah.
So I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
Voice acting, I agree 100%. It is all over the place. Some scenes carried way more weight, and like the actors have to bring the characters to life.
Yeah, they do. Look at Automata. Look at Nier Automata, and 9S's like performance, like that one character alone.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's a bar that is very high.
But it's crazy to think this is
a bar
like that did not
high.
have the budget that this game did. At all. That game should have been this game in terms of acting and crap, and it wasn't.
Well, yes, I agree. But
anyways,
in regards to Kingdom Hearts, the music for me was okay.
Yeah, you liked it. Yeah, it's fine.
The audio feedback was okay. Ambiance okay. Menu sound stuff is okay.
Yeah,
the emphasis on the comma was blech.
Yeah,
on it
again. That's voiced
Sean. Rudy,
that's a voice director.
That's been there in all the games. If you go play Kingdom Hearts 2, every time you visit a world, Sora, Donald,
I hate
Goofy.
It. I hate it. Like, grow that up. So, anyways, that's why I gave it a 7. Anyways, let's move on.
We need to. We're
this
gonna speed things up.
This is easy. We're talking about visuals here.
Visuals,
strongest part of the game.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. This game's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but it's not perfect.
No, I wouldn't say.
Far from it.
FPS, right? It took a hit. On the base model, I know it got pretty bad. On the Pro, I noticed some drops because I didn't switch it to 1080p. I've heard that if you put it to 1080p, you're almost consistently between 50 to 60.
Oh.
Yeah, but because you're running it at 1440p, I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. It did drop. Sub 40, sometimes 30. You know, but for the most part, it was pretty high up there. And the game looks really good.
I had a couple glitches, like there was one part in Twilight Town where Donald's hair
happened to me
and
too.
his tail and
yeah.
like the zippers on his thing were just doing this the whole
just flapping around,
walking around. That was it, and I'm like, well, this is weird. There was some.
To me too.
There was some pop into the geometry. There was some color shading that was like Maleficent's like purple in one scene, and then she looks her normal green in another, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like the lighting was fantastic, but in times it was just the color palette just seemed off.
I mean, it could have been
It wasn't. It was not my TV because you said
no.
It could be a setting or something, and I'm like, I went back and looked. And I'm like, no, it changes.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a direction. Like it could have been a visual intention.
It could have
by
been.
Nomura, because there's some moments where like you can kind of put a palette over it, but
that sounds like an excuse.
Yeah,
could be. Either way,
the animations were great.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, dude. Like when he's running around and he's like about to like run over a rock or something like that. That's on there. Like
he like jumps on him.
No, I know you're right.
And it's that's just like little
finer
things.
details.
The final details. Those.
That's
are
what sells the world.
That's what sells stuff. That's what immersion is about. But I will say that the game crashed on me once.
That's right, you did say that.
And in the final, like the ending, not the epilogue after the credits, but the ending before the credits, my screen went black for like a solid 5 seconds.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and that was not the first time that happened throughout the game. So the first time that it happened, I checked all my cables, checked all my settings, made sure that everything was good, and everything was fine. I cleaned my PS4 Pro, which I relatively keep it clean anyways because I have a cat. And it still ran like super hot. That fan was running 24/7. And then on top of that, like I still got more black screens. Audio was going. So what would happen is that the game would start, the frame rate would drop. These were all during cutscenes. Frame rate would drop. And then all of a sudden it would go black. Audio would still keep on going. I would hear the VAs.
Damn, that's weird.
Yeah, dude.
That's a weird glitch.
I know. So I was like, well, that's definitely going to impede my rating on visuals.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I just say that the Pirates of the Caribbean world, the character models in that level were so amazing.
They were.
They styled them to look more realistic.
Yeah.
And like Sora had like pores and crap, and I'm like, hey, this is cool. Unreal Engine 4, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, so good.
And so much level of detail, to your point, not just in the character models, but in the worlds themselves. Like they filled these worlds out.
Oh yeah.
With people walking around and foliage and boxes and da-da-da-da-da.
There was a lot to see.
There was a lot to see.
Yeah, Kingdom of Corona, man. Like when when you finally get there.
Yes, that was beautiful. Toy Story World literally looks better than the movie did. And back, I know it's been however many years, 20 years.
23,
but
24.
but back then that was like the oh my god,
wow,
this is cutting edge,
amazing.
and now we're doing it real time.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Real time more.
The game looks beautiful, and you know, I gave it a 9. That was my highest score of this entire thing because there's not much else to say. The game looks beautiful.
I also gave it a 9.
I gave it a 7.
Wow. That I guess that
Dude.
really those glitches.
Are you
man.
kidding me? If I am in the middle of a scene, thank goodness there's like a theater mode. But if there was not, I would have to like go to YouTube to watch that.
Yeah.
Because somebody would have to, you know, capture it
Yeah.
on video. But you're killing the story. You're getting me out of immersion on top of like the glitches that you guys had that I did not experience personally.
Right.
And then my game crashes.
Yeah.
Like imagine if that happened in the middle of the Pirates of the Caribbean hour and a half long phase of like hunting crabs or whatever the heck
you would have
were
hoped
doing.
that the autosave saved at a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, no, those are like possibly like, well, it's a game experience, you know, hindrance.
Yeah, for sure.
In my opinion. So yes, there you go.
Well, I guess it's time then to reveal our final
Final
scores.
score, baby. Let's go.
So I'll start with me and I'll go that way. So my final score turned out to be a 7.3. So I thought this game was, I say great. If they had just fixed a few things, it could have been amazing. And if you go look at our scoring system, great from other folks means like an 8 or a 9, but for us it's a 7.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Rudy gave it a 6.1.
Which is good, has its problems, but the good outshines the bad.
And Onyx, you gave it a 6.9.
Which
Did that math match yours?
yeah,
Okay,
pretty much.
Just making sure.
Pretty much.
Pretty much rounds up to a 7.
It runs up to a 7, but it's
It's still a 6 for you.
It's a good game. It's a good game. It has
is a good game.
Plenty of problems. The good does outshine the bad. I obviously finished it, right?
Well, yeah.
But I can't give it higher.
But
than
you
that.
had to plow through it, and that's the thing.
Like I said, I was at points angry. I'm like, why is this game
you stopped
not...
playing this and started playing RE2.
No. I stopped
Correct?
playing to start playing Apex Legends.
Apex
I dropped
Legends.
Kingdom Hearts 2 for like a week and a half just to play a battle royale game
A free one.
because it was. I mean, it's way better.
So I'm ready. Are you ready to reveal the final?
Go for it.
Go
man.
for it.
When you
dude.
average all our scores together, the official TGR score for Kingdom Hearts 3 is a 6.8. It is good, has its problems, but the good outshines the bad. It's so close to great.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
it's there, but it falls just short.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think that, regardless of what the score says, that sentence alone, it falls just short of being great.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's a good game.
Yeah.
That perfectly
Desc-
defines.
Perfectly describes this.
Like
this game,
that's my time with Kingdom Hearts 3 for sure.
Yeah, definitely 110%, man.
which is unfortunate.
It is.
It is because and it's just because of the clout of the series. Like my expectations were like here, and yours were like somewhere up there.
But he tried to keep them.
My
he tried to keep 'em, like,
expectations were low, but
what you desired, what
hopes
you
were
wanted. Yeah.
way up here.
Yeah.
yeah, high
and it
hopes.
still did not really meet the expectations.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
sadly.
it's
There's
so
always-
sad when the final conclusion of something you've had built up for so long just falls flat on its face. And I mean, I'm not. I don't want to compare this, and I know the MCU's not done with Phase 3, but the build up to Infinity War,
Right.
Infinity War, regardless of what you think of that movie, it delivered.
It really
Yeah.
did. It
on
really
the
did.
build up.
It did.
This game did not.
No, unfortunately.
And for them to have a secret movie and an epilogue starting to build up this whole new series, I don't know how excited. I'm excited for the gameplay. I'm excited for the music. I don't know if I care about the story anymore.
That might be one of the. Well, no, it won't be the first one I won't play, but it might. Like once it comes out, I might just be like, hey, it's Kingdom Hearts.
It might be a Black
Yeah.
Friday game,
yeah, you're right.
you know,
Yeah, you're right.
which is sad.
Yeah.
To see Kingdom Hearts. do
If
that.
they ditch Disney for the future of Kingdom Hearts, which is one of the speculations based on all that.
Oh, that'd be silly though.
epilogue
That's
and
kind of
secret
what.
movie.
That's
If
the
they
point.
concentrate on just
Wow.
unique, just
Call it something else. Don't call it Kingdom Hearts. Sora's Adventures.
but if they go through all these different worlds that are Square Enix related now, and they just
yeah,
thank you, maybe Disney said, you know what, thanks, great job. We're not licensing with you anymore.
Well, I
And
don't know why
Square
they-
Enix is
I don't know why
like,
they wouldn't
Well,
do
we
that.
still want to make Kingdom Hearts games, so let's just make it all about us now.
I mean, they're gonna do. They're gonna keep. You know why? Because
I-
this game sold
I
5
don't
million.
want to play. I don't want to play
It's about
the
money for
story
them.
of Star Wars in. Well, actually, that might
Damn,
be cool.
that would've been
But I don't
so
want to play the
cool.
story. Damn it!
See
Where
what I
was
mean?
the Darth Vader secret boss battle? Come on,
Yeah,
Square
no
Enix.
Sephiroth.
DLC. It's DLC,
whatever,
guys.
whatever,
It's DLC.
it is what
They're
it
gonna
is.
pull up Final Fantasy 15 and add a whole bunch of.
Oh boy.
So like all the worlds, they're all gonna have awesome stories now.
No, they won't do that. I'm glad they're gonna move on. I'm ready for them. It's disappointing, but it was still a good game.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
What did you guys think about
What did
Kingdom
you guys
Hearts
think
3?
about
Man, the fan base is like, I hate you.
No, because
TGR
I'm
sucks.
one of the biggest fans, and I'm saying this about this
Oh.
game. I will say the critics, though, are giving this game a little bit too much credit.
I
Dude,
don't understand how somebody's
way
this game
too
like
much.
9.5
9.5's
I don't
like,
get it.
where's this coming from?
yeah,
like, how do you-
that's
Like I was
blind
halfway
fandom.
I was
really
was
think so.
halfway through the game, and he had finished before any of us finished, and he was like, "Just wait, there's a payoff." Blah 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 blah. And I'm going through this, and I'm just like, "What? How do you recover from this?"
Yeah.
It's hard.
And it
was-
still didn't really recover, but it was more.
No.
At least you
It
got
was like
some
finally,
enjoyment
I get the,
Yes.
the things that I wanted to see. But.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I don't know, man. But let us know what you think.
That's our
Comment,
Kingdom Hearts 3
like,
review.
subscribe, and hit the
Follow us
little
at
bell.
Instagram. Is anybody watching right now? They're like, I hate this guy. I hate
You
my
guys.
Kingdom Hearts.
May your heart be your guiding key. Oh no! Hang on. I promised all of you. Listen to this, because when we were doing our gaming resume for this game, I said I see what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna share it with you now. You ready for this? I thought
A theory.
I thought they were gonna have Yen Sid be one of the 13.
Oh, why
I
did
thought
you
he
think
was
that?
going to be evil the whole time, and he was guiding them to do certain things just like they all said
That
they
actually
were.
would have been a nice twist.
Because
would have been way more
Because
interesting.
they introduced this whole thing where he like whispers, "May your heart be your guiding key," and that was just something new for this game that apparently he does all the time. And then when you see Zigbar do it,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, they're gonna make Yen Sid a bad guy. So towards the end when he like shows up, I was like, oh, here we go. Oh no, he's gonna do Fantasia and part the Sea of Heartless, and he's actually good, and none of that mattered. Now he could be the Master of Masters. That could be the plot twist in the future.
Doubt it, but
I doubt it.
Well, who cares
I'm
at this
done.
point?
I
All right.
don't know. Deuces.
Like what you saw? Check out some of our other videos and be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest content. Thanks for your support and thanks for watching.